What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video here on Review and Preview Sports. Tom Scavetta here with Kyle Russo to break down some breaking news for you. But first, Kyle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Tom. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing great. Well, it broke on the live show of Review and Preview just about an hour or two ago that Bruce Arians, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach, has retired. He will take on a role in the Bucs front office, and Todd Bowles has been promoted to the new head coach. And I saw your reaction live, but talk to me. What is your initial thoughts on this transaction?
I thought it was just crazy. I would understand more so if Tom Brady wasn't returning, but the opportunity to now reacquire him, I guess you would say, or coming out of retirement only a month after his original retirement post, an opportunity to run it back and be the head coach of a Tom Brady led Super Bowl. I don't know why he would give up that opportunity. He's been coaching in this NFL in the league for so many years, finally having an opportunity to compete for Super Bowls at that highest of level in terms of the head coaching position. And now, only 2 years or 3 years into his tenure as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach, obviously he's at the age of 69 years old. He'll be 70 years old in October. And we know that he has had some health issues in the past. Obviously, he retired from the NFL for a while after he had that head coaching job with the Cardinals and then made his return with the Buccaneers. So maybe something like that has to do something like that. I don't want to make any assumptions. But to leave a team, or not leave a team, obviously joining a front office role, but leaving that head coaching position, now knowing that you have a really, really good chance to compete for a Super Bowl once again, it was just kind of out of left field for sure. That's why that's my why my reaction was probably the way it was. Just completely unexpected news.
It's crazy that playoff game against the Rams this past year. Brady announces his retirement. We thought Brady was gone and Arians was staying, and now all of a sudden Brady unretires and Arians retires. So it's a whole whiffle of confusion this NFL offseason. But to break down Bruce Arians' coaching career with the Bucs in 3 seasons, he was 31 and 18. 2 of those seasons coming with Tom Brady, making the playoffs 2 out of those 3 seasons. Um, and that Super Bowl, oldest coach ever to win a
Yep.
Super Bowl.
Yep.
So, I mean, shout out Bruce Arians. I believe, 4 of his 6 career postseason wins came in that 2020 Super Bowl run. So, a legacy that was built behind Tom Brady. A lot of people debate, should that Super Bowl been credited less to Arians because Brady was his quarterback? I'm not so sure. But even before that, I mean, he brought the Cardinals to an NFC title game. He was the interim head coach for the Colts, 2-time AP NFL Coach of the Year, twice in a 3-year span. I mean, this guy's a man's man. He's a really good head coach, or
He
was.
he was a really good head coach, and some would even say along the likes of a Hall of Famer head coach. He's got a star-studded NFL career, like you alluded to, an 86-51-1 overall record, which is at 627%. So really good win percentage as an NFL head coach. 6-3 in the postseason, really good. Obviously, a Super Bowl uh, champion as a head coach, a 2-time Super Bowl champion as an assistant head coach with the Pittsburgh Steelers, once as their wide receivers coach and once as their offensive uh, coordinator. So very, very, very talented coach across all measures. These are only some of the teams that we talk about that he's obviously been with, but he's been with teams like the New Orleans Saints. He's been with teams like the Cleveland Browns. So he's been all over the place. The Kansas City Chiefs was his first NFL job back all the way in the 80s. So he's been around the league for a long time now, very well-respected head coach. And I know that when he did win that Super Bowl against the Chiefs just 2 years ago, a lot of fans of the NFL and a lot of NFL analysts, they couldn't have expressed their happiness anymore towards Bruce Arians, just as such a well-respected guy around the league, finally getting that Super Bowl champion at that highest level of coaching at the head coaching position with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It was definitely well deserved. A guy whose coaching career dates back to 1972, didn't get his first head coaching crack until 2012 when he became interim head coach for the Colts and then got a job with the Cardinals for 4 or 5 seasons, retired, and now came back 3 years for the Bucs and retires again. But 69 years of age, local guy, Paterson, New Jersey. So, best of luck to Bruce Arians. And now we dive into the second part of this, Kyle. Todd Bowles promoted to the new head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, we got to discuss this guy's resume a little bit. I think it makes sense to make him the guy over Leftwich due to the experience factor, the seniority factor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Todd Bowles, obviously, as we once know as New York natives, is that he had the Jets head coaching job for, I believe, around 3 years, back all the way in 2017, I believe it was last year before Gase took over. And he had some successful years with the New York Jets. Just obviously, I think they lack some talent. Obviously, I think the GM, the management situation with McCagnon, some would say was a very bad situation compared to what it is now with Joe Douglas under helm in that front office. But now getting that second opportunity, because we know that he did get some head coaching interviews, now getting to stay home in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to take over that head coaching position. This is another guy, Tom, who is won basically at every single level. He's won as a player back in the day with the Washington Redskins. He's won as an executive with the Green Bay Packers back in the 90s. He's won as a assistant head coach, defensive coordinator with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now he has an opportunity to compete for a Super Bowl. As long as Tom Brady's the quarterback, has an opportunity to compete for a Super Bowl as a head coach now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, you mentioned he was head coach of the Jets. He was the head coach for them from 2015 to 2018 before Gase coached there for 2 years, and then Rob Salah coming off his first year as their head coach. But when Bowles was there, 26-41, it got bad towards the end of his tenure. The beginning of his tenure wasn't so bad. The Jets were in the mix when they had Ryan Fitzpatrick, Eric Decker, guys like that, Brandon Marshall. But what led him to getting that job with the Jets was back in 2014. He was named AP NFL Assistant Coach of the Year under Bruce Arians with the Arizona Cardinals. So there is a connection there. There is a connection there. And you brought up something very funny before the video. Tom Brady's never had an offensive-minded head coach. He doesn't need one. He doesn't need one.
No, he does not. No, he does not. And it's obviously at the helms of a Tom Brady being your quarterback, you get to admire his training camps, admire his work ethic, and obviously coaching does come into play in terms of success from an overall team standpoint. But when you have Tom Brady sitting in the pocket as your quarterback, he's definitely the one running the offense for your team, and he's definitely the one that's going to either take you there or break it for you. And the way that he left, even though it was only for a month, the way he left the game, he was still one of the top quarterbacks in the league. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers putting up the numbers that he put up this year, Aaron Rodgers for sure, not Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady for sure would have won the MVP this year with the numbers that he put up, even at the age of 44 years old, which is absolutely mind-boggling to even process. That even at the age of 44 years old, this guy was a guy who left the game at the top of his game, now coming back, and everybody's excited to see what he's got in store, because Tom, even coming back after a 1-month retirement, this upcoming season, the 2022 season into 2023, does not seem like it will be the last season for Tom Brady in an NFL uniform.
Yeah, the guy that just never goes away. Tom Brady, he did lose Alex Kappa on his offense, but once he unretired, they re-signed Chris Godwin, got him locked up. Ryan Jensen re-signed to a 3-year deal, Leonard Fournette as well. So Tom Brady has a lot working for him in 2020. It'll be interesting to see if there are any differences between Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians as head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and if Bowles can pick up the huge shoes that Bruce Arians has left for him to fill, because obviously we know Bruce Arians had a lot of head coaching success. Todd Bowles has not, but he could not be in a better situation than here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I still think they are legit Super Bowl contenders heading into 2022 with Todd Bowles as the head coach.
And Tom, two things before we wrap it up here. I was mistaken. I for some reason I thought Bruce Arians was not an offensive-minded guy, and as I'm reading his offensive coordinator here, wide receivers coach here, I'm putting 2 and 2 together and realizing that he was not a defensive-minded guy like I thought. That's number one. And number two, breaking news from Schefter: Todd Bowles is getting a 5-year contract to be the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So this is obviously a long-term investment in Todd Bowles being that head coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, you heard it here. 5-year contract for Todd Bowles. So it looks like he is there to stay with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Tom Brady might be further from retirement than a lot of people think. Folks, if you like what you watch, make sure to subscribe to the channel. on YouTube at Review and Preview Sports. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We just created a TikTok as well, which is crazy to even fathom. But Kyle, anything you want to add, man?
Fun as always making some content with you, Tom.
Absolutely, folks. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll catch you all on the next video.